Yo, what's happening, good peeps? I'm gonna let y'all get up in here and let y'all get acclimated. We about to go over some great things here for all my dapper dons, my smooth blued and tattooed gents out there. We're about to lay it out. So give everybody a good second to get up in here. All right, hang back with me. Good people, gents, coming up in here. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Am I coming in clear? Is everything too loud? Can you guys hear me? Is it good? Do we have a good exchange? Do we have a good communication? Comunicado? Are we good? Huh? Let me know. All right, we're gonna knock out some stuff here tonight. So want to make sure everybody's in here and everybody can hear me that's aboard the ship. Yeah. Cariño. Buenos días. Hola. All right, everybody. If the music is too loud, let me know. I'm going to make sure every time I go in there, somebody say, oh, the music is too loud. It's a little loud. Quan, turn the music down some. All right, so if we're good, we're good. We're gonna get rolling. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time messing with the ancillary items. Anyway, so the point of this live, okay, is for all my gents out there, and it's not excluded the women out there that also have nice shoes, okay? Nice dress shoes. If you ladies have them, this applies to you too, because you can use the principles and the tactics and the tips that I'm going to display, okay? We're going to have a quick little tutorial right fast, and we're going to have a little overview on what we're doing first, okay? Tonight, we're going to be looking over a couple of pair of my favorite dress shoes, okay? Now, I chose these specific dress shoes for a reason, because I'm sure that most of my gents out there have something similar or something along the lines or something that kind of speaks to them that they wear in the pinch. And they're going to an event or whatever it is, they'll go to the closet, snatch these dress shoes down. And hopefully you have one of each. You have a brown, a black, and like a neutral type of color, okay? Or like a navy or something. But browns and blacks are gonna be your most go-to shoes. Unless you're going with a dress sneaker or something like that, but a dress boot or something. And then the colors get all exotic and all these crazy things. That's if you want that. You don't have to have that, but if you have that, you can exemplify those specific types of color palettes. But tonight, we're going to start with the items that we're going to be utilizing to shine or polish. I'm going to say the word polish. These specific couple of pairs of shoes that I have. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this because I want to show you guys exactly how to extract the dirts and how to get the most out of the leather. Now, I'm going to tell you something, a caveat, okay? In order to use the specific materials that I have, you're going to have a really good pair of dress shoes. Now, I'm not saying you got to have exactly what I have, but you're going to have to possess some with some really good character in terms of the leather quality. All right. In other words, there are Stacy Adams and all these brands out there that people will go out and buy. Cool. Okay. You can possess those, but you're going to have to get a whole different set of polishes and stuff for, because the stuff that I'm using, you can't use on those shoes because it's high in alcohol content in the mixture, and it's got different types of things in it that will dry out the leather. And now I'm gonna tell you something. If you have a very expensive pair of shoes, do not use terrible polishes and different types of paints and things like that on your shoe. If you have a very expensive pair of shoes, you have to use a specific type of polish to get the most out of it and to preserve the integrity and the life of the leather quality. Okay. Just the same, if you had a cheap pair of shoes with real bottom bargain bin leather, you're not going to get real expensive polishes on that because it's just going to counteract. It's just not going to be the best use of your money and the best use of your time. It's going to be a waste of your time and a waste of your money, either way. So if you're going to have cheap shoes, just get cheap polish. It does work for cheap shoes. It can happen. Your shoes ain't going to last very long, and the polish is going to be all right. But if you have very expensive shoes, you're going to want to get more expensive polish. It's just like anything else in this world. Now let's start with this. All right, so first, now your rag, your polishing rag will look something like it. Now, guys, I know y'all got old t-shirts and things like that in your drawer that you ain't wore in 15 years. Go get it out, cut that bad boy in squares. All right, square it off. All right. Now that's what I did. Now you can see your boy Quantum has been busy on this dress shirt. Well, this is an old t-shirt, but you get my drift. You see all the different colors, the blacks, the browns, the blues down there. You see that? And this is an old t-shirt, okay? You don't have to have anything specific with the polishing rag, okay? Just make sure that when you're polishing a certain color palette, don't mix it with another color. So if you're polishing brown shoes, don't use this part of the rag. You would think people would understand that, but some people don't. All right, so that doesn't matter. But you can just take an old t-shirt, cut that bad boy into squares, rip it, tear it, whatever you want to do. I find it easier to store if you cut it. If you just rip it, it'd be all messed up and you can't stuff it in your thing. I have a whole caddy stand with all the stuff in it. I got about 2 of them. I'm not bringing that out tonight. It's just too much stuff. But anyway, so you're going to have your polishing rag. Okay. Next, you'll have to have your buffing cloth. Now this is more of a coarse type of material. If you can see this is more like a canvasy type of item. Do you see the ridges in that? You can see the ridges. You see that coarse material this is? This isn't necessarily a t-shirt rag. This is like cotton. This is like cotton canvasy. It's a little heavier and a little bit more dense. The reason why is because on this side, the coarse side, you can buff off hard elements like polish, like stubborn polish and stuff like that. You can buff that right off, polish that beads on the shoe and all of that. Just take this side and buff it off. You're not going to buff off beaded polish with this. This is going to keep rolling around on the shoe. Trust me, it's annoying. Don't use this. This comes with a good shoe shine kit. A good shoe shine kit costs you about, on Amazon, $20, $25 to get you a good shoe shine kit. Now, this is the coarse side. You guys see that? See the ridges in that? Now, on the other side of that, it's like a cashmere. See that? You see the different grades? Here, you're looking at more of a coarse, and the underbody is more of a polishing rag. Now, this is how you get your shine after you've settled in your paints and polishes and all of your good stuff, okay? This is the last thing that you'll use on the shoe. This is the first thing you use on the shoe. This is the last thing that you'll use on the shoe. All right, good people. Hope y'all doing all right tonight. If you haven't, like, share, and subscribe to the content. Share this live, okay? all my Panther guys out there, I know some of y'all may be up here watching. Shoot this out to everybody in the community, man, because everybody need to see this, okay? We spent a whole week talking about our team and going back and forth about, because we do play tomorrow. Falcons week. But anyway, I digress. Red Swarm, if you're watching, this was for you. Anyway, so this tutorial, like I said, is designed for the person who has at least one pair of decent shoes. And if you're a guy, you better have at least one pair of shoes. I'm gonna come see you. You better have one good pair. Now, first cloth, the first thing that would touch your shoe, and the last thing that would touch your shoe. Two ends of the spectrum. All right. Okay, so let's look at some of the polishes first that we have. Let's go over that. Now, depending on the color, you'll have one or either of these polishes, or you may have all of them. I have quite a few of them because I have a lot of color palettes and a lot of different colors, kinds of shoes. So this is going to be your Saphir. Saphir is the best shoe polish on the market, in my opinion. There are some good ones out there, okay? But in my opinion, my humble opinion, Saphir, make sure you guys get a good look at this. Saphir. This is what is called the Pat Deluxe, the Beauty Cure. Okay, so if you look closely, see that? The Beauty Cure. The Beauty Cure is French. Saphir is a French company. Okay, they make all the polishes that I buy. So the Pat Deluxe. Now, what's the Pat Deluxe? The Pat Deluxe is your base color palette. Now, not the color that I'm going to use first, but this is more like a camel color. See that? It's rich. Rich color brown. You see that? Oh, this stuff is strong, but it smells good. Say, I love shiny shoes. You smell that, you know you got the right one. You smell the wrong kind of polish, it's like burning your nose hairs, man. It's terrible. Ugh. When you got that real deal Holyfield, baby, none smells better. That's Saphir Pat Deluxe, the Beauty Cure and this is going to be for the lighter brown, camel color. Okay. Now you can see on the 10, you'll see that one of them is for the camel, and then the other one's going to be for a coffee color right here. So that's your differences in the color. This is the one we're going to start with, the coffee. Well, the coffee is this one. I'm going to put this one down. This is for the camel. That's the second pair of shoes we're going to shine. So I'm going to put this to the side. And we're going to start with this one. This is the coffee color. Same thing, same composition. And then sometimes after your polish sits for a while, it'll start doing this. No big deal. You can just put some heat to it and it'll melt back together. This is just after it sits for a little while. Okay, it just starts to crack. But after you melt it and heat it or whatever, you can put a lighter to the bottom, or you can just put a lighter around it, put it in some heat. Boom, it'll start. Don't put this in the microwave, okay? Do not put this in the microwave, because if something go on with your microwave, blow up, do not say the quantum says the best thing to do is put the Beauty Cure in the microwave and your stuff blow up, and then the firemen come down there and then they're looking for me. No. Do not put this in the microwave. This, you can supply a little bit of heat around it with a lighter or something, and then it'll just mildly just heat it up and it'll melt. That's all you got to do. Put it on the top and it'll melt. All right. This is what we're going to use first, because this is the color of the shoe that we're about to start with. Okay, there are two more items with the polish. This is the Saphir Medal Meteor. Okay, the Medal d'Or. This is your mirror gloss at the end. This is what you use at the end of the process to give your shoes a mirror shine. Now, took a long time to find this stuff. This is not easy to find, and it's not cheap. Okay, you can get it on Amazon if you want. Amazon has it. It's not going to be cheap though. I'm telling you now. So get ready to spend a little bit of that. It ain't like $800 or nothing like that. Maybe, get what I paid for this, like $20 or something like that. But you only use a little bit of this stuff though. It'll last you for a whole 5 years. Okay, you don't need to be digging your finger into this. It's not that type. You lightly gloss over the top, but I'm gonna show you how to do all of that. This will be the very last thing that you put on the shoe. Okay, so this is the Saphir Medal d'Or. Okay, it is your mirror gloss. See that? It's exactly what it says, mirror gloss. And it looks like this. Now, again, you got to put a little heat to this stuff because it sits and it'll start to crack or whatever. Well, this one ain't too bad. So as you can see, it starts to crumble a little bit, but that's all wax. All wax and polish will do it if it's the good stuff. And I'm not talking about the cream, okay? The creams will do what the creams will do. There are shoe creams. I do use those sometimes, but not all the time. All right, I try to stay with what works and what works the best for me. And in my estimation, these 10s, all the Saphir products are going to actually run you a little bit of money, but it's worth it, guys. Trust me. Do not be one of those people, oh, I don't want to spend the money. Nah, man. Spend the bread because, trust me, people can tell. When you hit the office, when you're on a business trip, you're on an airplane, you're going to a meeting, somebody look down, they can see their face in your shoe. Okay? 'Cause tonight, you're going to see what I'm talking about when I hit that bad boy. I'm going to hit that. And your image is going to pop. Now, you know, some people don't, if you look at the shoe and your shoe crack, that means you're not that desirable. You shouldn't be breaking mirrors or anything with your face. Saphir Medal d'Or mirror gloss. One more item that we're going to look at. Now, this is the Saphir Renovateur. Okay, see that? Renovateur. What this is designed to do, this is a clear bottle. This is a cream. Saphir don't play around. See that? This is a cream. Right? So basically, this stuff is designed, strong. This goes on the shoe before the Medal d'Or. Okay? It goes on the shoe after the Pat Deluxe, the Beauty Cure. The Beauty Cure hits first. Okay? Beauty Cure, Renovateur, and your Medal d'Or. Okay, so your Renovateur is designed to pull the richness out of your leather. It brings the richness to the top of the leather because you're not just packing paint on top of the shoe. You're enriching the leather. Now, what we're talking about, and I'm going to get into this in a minute, that's what this is designed to do. It enriches the leather. It brings all of the natural qualities of the skin. Everybody knows that leather is skin. It's animal skin. And it's just like your skin. If you don't put lotion on your skin, that stuff will dry and crack. Same difference when you're using all these, when you're using a good pair of shoes. It's hide. It's the hide of the cow. You got to know that certain parts of the cow has certain attributes. The front quarter of the cow is going to be your cheapest leather. So that means the shoulder blade of the cow and the underbody right here, that is what is called genuine leather. It's the cheapest part of the cow, and it's going to be the cheapest shoe and the cheapest leather you can buy. I don't know why. It just has a terrible sheen. It looks good when it's new. But the moment you start bending that shoe and walking in it like this, it starts getting those cracks, those wrinkles. First you'll see those creases forming in the vamp of the shoe where your shoe does this on your toes, around the toes and the instep of your foot. You start getting those ridges. Then you get those hairlines. And then eventually that leather is not made. It just doesn't hold up. It starts to crack and starts to, I've seen it chip and all kinds of weirds. Have you had those shoes for like 20 years? Done. So that's why I say you got to get, now the back part of the cow, where the hind leg is in the back and the hip of the cow and the underbody from there is what it's called. That's where the sport calf is made. That's the best quality of the leather you're going to find. Okay? That's where you want to buy your shoes when you're using that type of leather. You don't want to buy shoes when you're using the front quarter. You want the rear quarter. And that's where the cow is going to have its best attributes. For whatever reason, you're going to find where it's not hit with a bunch of mosquito bites or barbed wire cuts and stuff like that on the calf. They're going to be the most protected back here for whatever reason. I don't know. The front quarter is where the cows get into trouble. They're grazing along the fence line and they're right here gets caught on the barbed wire and they pull off and it puts a rip in. The cow gets crazy there, but never from behind. You don't see anything happening back here, and that's the best part of the cow. Even when you eat it, that's your Wagyu steak and all that. That's holding the lot. Anyway, now, just so you know, and the most important part, to really pull the richness out of all of these items combined in the leather, you're gonna need a horsehair brush. I don't mean the one from Payless Shoes or Pick and Pay or any of these other places that you go to, okay? Do not go to Walmart and get one of these brushes because it will not work the same. I am telling you what I know. Don't buy your polish from Walmart unless you bought your shoes from Walmart. Don't go to the mall and buy a pair of shoes and go to Walmart for your polish. Don't work. Buy your shoes where you buy your polish unless you order it. Just like the Saphir products. You order that stuff because they make the very best products for your shoes. Now, your horsehair brush. This is designed to lift all of the items of pigment, color, plush, renovateurs, all the mirror gloss. This lifts it off the shoe as you have a brushing technique that I will show you. This is a horsehair brush. Now, this is a pig hair brush. This is a little stiffer, a little bit more coarse, but kind of similar. See? One is one color, one's the other. One brush is designed for a softer leather. This one's designed for a little bit more of a coarse leather, but all still plush leathers. They are going to do the trick. But if you want to get to the conclusion of getting the shine there quicker, this one tends to do the job a little faster, but it doesn't bring out all of the qualities of the shine. This one works over time. It takes a few minutes to really, and it just slowly brings the sheen out, okay? You hit your shoe with this before you start doing anything. This is the first thing that you'll do. Actually, I have my cloth out there. The cloth is what you do when you're applying the polish. But you have to start off all of your shoe shines with hitting it with the brush. You got to knock off all excess dirt and dust and all that goofy crap. And you knock all that off, okay? And then this one is what I use last because this one actually hits when the sheens and the colors and all that are applied. I come back with that one. This one right here does the trick. All right, starts it all off. We'll get to this in a second. Let me show y'all something. When you do have a nice pair of shoes, right, of good quality leather, you don't just want to slide them under your bed, okay? Don't be that guy. Kick your shoes off, slide them under the bed. Not going to work, okay? Dust will get all in the crevices of that shoe, and then you got a whole nother problem, all right? You got an entirely different problem, okay? Let's avoid kicking your shoes off and sliding them under the bed. Like a lot of people do, just slide them under the bed or just set them on a rack in your closet. No, you got to avoid places where dust can settle on your shoes because you're going to have to clean it off. And it's quite annoying to have to keep cleaning the dust off your shoes. So if you don't wear your dress shoes often and they're just sitting high, you're going to get a bunch of dust in them. You got to get it off. Now, this is what is called a shoe bag. See that? This is a shoe bag. Now we're going to be cleaning one pair of my Allen Edmonds. One of my better pair of shoes, okay? Great quality leather, great craftsmanship. We're going to go over to that. But my shoes are always stored in these bags, in the box, on the shelf in my closet. Dust bags are the way to go. You must have these. If you buy a good quality pair of shoes, they're going to come with one of these. If you buy a pair of shoes and they don't come with a dust bag, then you know you don't have good quality shoes. It's just that simple. These protect the integrity of your shoes from the dust. All right? Now, let's get started, shall we? All right, here are the shoes. And I'll describe you the name and what these are and all that good stuff. Very simple to do. Okay. Now, these are what are called the McKenzies. These are the Allen Edmond McKenzies. McKenzie. You're going to say, wow, I've never seen a shoe quite like that. A lot of people have not. These are hole cuts. That's the leather design. That's the cut of the leather. A hole cut shoe is a shoe that's cut with one piece of leather, and it's the vamp of the shoe is all one piece. All one piece. You see that? There are no stitchings across it or anything on the shoe. All one piece is called, this shoe design is called a hole cut. It's called a hole cut. They cut one big piece, and then in the back, they sew it together right there. This is where they sew it together. Now, if you look at that stitching job, you'll see that this is created on what is called a last. That's what they use to fit this over they fit the shoe leather over this thing that's shaped like a foot. And then they build the shoe, they construct the shoe around the last, okay? Each last have a different size, a different design. It's shaped like a foot, but that's how they lay the leather around it, and that's how they create the silhouette of the shoe. Which I know you guys didn't think they put this on somebody's foot and designed the shoe. All right, the last is what creates that effect of the silhouette of a foot. Now let's talk more about this shoe. This is premium sport calf. This is a hole cut premium calf. This shoe I've worn a lot. I've worn this shoe couple dozen times, 25, 30 times, something like that. Or I don't know, a lot. But you can see, look what I said. You see where I said in the vamp, where you'll get the ridges in the shoe? You see very little wedge, very little ridge in the shoe because of the leather quality. See that? Now you can still see the shine I put on it from the last time I had them on. This was from the last shine I put on it. Not bad, still holding up a little bit. Look at that. You can see the light glare in that sucker. Okay, you don't want this part of the shoe shining like this. This is just for the tip. You only want the tip to have a mirror finish in it. You should be able to see your image in this thing when you're done with it. The rest of the shoe, you just want it nice and got a sheen. You want a sheen on this right here, on the vamp. All on the vamp. You want to look at that sheen I got. See that sheen? Look at that sheen on there. See that? Look at the glare of that light. You can tell I put some work in when I shine these bad boys. And then the toe cap, the toe box. Look at that. Now let's talk about the design of this shoe first. Got to get into that a little bit. That's the whole point of these lives. I want you to understand what you're looking at. What would be the point in you having one of these glorious pair of shoes if you don't understand the shoe? Most guys, they just go to the store and grab it off the rack. Hey, try it on. Let's go. And then they wonder why, after about 6 months of consistent wear, the shoe starts to talk to you because it starts separating right here. And your shoe start talking like your dog. The leather start hanging out in the tip and look like a dog's tongue hanging out. That's what happens when you got some cheap shoes. Now, I don't care. Now, guys, I don't judge anybody. You get what you can afford. But I'm going to tell you something. You go out, you save on every paycheck if you can muster it. Save $50 for about 3 months. Okay? 50, 50, 50, maybe 4 months of 50s. Or if you have about $250 or $300, that's going to be your best bet. You're going to want to spend the money on at least one good pair of shoes. At least one. All right? If you can't afford all the other stuff, no problem. It's all good. All you do from there is you go and you find the best quality. Now, I'll give you the quality of what I believe you should be looking for. I'll give you the different quality brands. Notice this is not labeled on the tongue of the shoe or anything like that because these are custom made shoes. You don't see these on the shelf in any stores. Tell me, When last time you seen a hole cut before in the store? Nope. In the store, you're gonna find like a Derby or a Blucher, or you might find an Oxford, maybe, but you're never gonna see hole cuts. You gotta really know what you're doing to buy these. Okay. All right. Now, this shoe is designed specifically for more of a formal type of situation. These are not your dress down, although you could dress them down. You can wear them with business casual if you want to, but people are gonna be like, hey, you got on these chinos or these nice jeans, and they're gonna see these, they're gonna look you up and down, they're gonna be like, dang, them shoes are nice, but why are you wearing them with that? That's what they're gonna be thinking. That's what people will think. They might not say anything, but they're gonna think that. They're gonna be like, dang, is that overkill? That dope shoe? With that outfit? What was it? Okay. Now, this shoe has what is called a medallion on the toe. This is called a medallion on the toe box. That's designed to give the shoe some flair. Now, I have another pair of these that has no medallion. And plus, it's the other color. It's like a caramel color. It's lighter. This is a coffee. I have a caramel color without the medallion on the toe. Okay. You'll notice there's an Oxford lacing system, which means it's closed. The Blucher or the Derby is an open system, which means you have to string the shoe across like this to bring the shoe together. This shoe, you don't. This shoe is designed to be closed. You see that? Look on the vamp. Shapes like a V. See that? From here all the way up to here, it's designed to be closed. Okay? That's going to be more of an Oxford type of design, which is a closed lacing system. But then, this is a hole cut, so it has no stitching, or there's no open vamp around here, or none of that stuff. Has that little loop right there, which the leather is cut here and it's cut there, and the shoe is stitched together. No, this is what is called a hole cut. So now let's go to the bottom, or let's go to the sole. These are what is called. These are Allen Edmonds Goodyear welted shoes. You see the stitching around the bottom? This is a leather sole. The sole is made completely out of leather. This is not a rubber sole shoe. This shoe is leather. It's leather. It's made for specifically to fit your foot. Now, Americans, they use a thicker sole, and Europeans use a thinner sole, which they would use something called a Blake Rapid stitch. That stitch is designed to actually make the shoe look very sleek. And the sole isn't so thick. So the Blake Rapid stitch means they stitch it from the inside of the shoe, and you'll never see all this. Or you'll never see any of this stitching right here either. And I'm gonna tell you what that is. In a European shoe, which I have a few pair in there, they're not gonna have this stitch. You won't even be able to see it. And you won't be able to see the sole on the outside. It'll be more or less to the shoe. It'll look more like this side of the shoe, but you won't, it'll be more closely confined. And you won't see it to where the shoe protrudes from the sole, okay? The shoe, when you're talking about a Blake Rapid stitch, is designed to look very sleek without a sole on it. Although there is a sole, but it's very thin. You can barely see it. And it's stitched from the inside. The only problem with Blake Rapid stitch shoes, if you walk in some water, it can get in. It can seep through because that's how they make the shoe. It's really no sole. These, no water gets in, but it's a clunkier design. It's American. This is the American-made dress shoe. Europeans use the Blake Rapid stitch. Now, what do Americans call their stitching system? Well, Americans call this the Goodyear welt. This is a Goodyear welted shoe, which means that there's a specific piece of leather that's cut and stitched to bring the shoe to the sole, and they stitch it together. And it creates pretty much an all around the shoe stitch that brings it back to the front. And that welt is what keeps the elements out of the shoe, keeps the water out. It binds the shoe to the sole. Okay? That's what a Goodyear welt is. That's the American way of how we stitch soles to shoes. Let me tell you something, guys. You will be fooled if you don't listen to this. If you see a pair of shoes without this stitching in it, okay? If you see a pair of shoes without the stitching around your shoe, number one, that means they use a process called cementing, which means they glue the shoe with industrial grade glue. They affix the shoe with a glue. to the sole of the shoe. So your vamp and your outer part of your shoe, your upper is what we call this, and this is your lower. Your upper is attached to the shoe, not by stitching, not by any welts or Blake Rapid stitch. It's secured by what is called a cementing process, which is industrial grade glue. They use it on every sneaker out there. Jordans use it, KDs, whoever, LeBrons. That's why those shoes aren't very expensive. That's why they're cheap. Because the moment the glue starts to wear in the shoe, they start flapping, start talking to you like a dog. Stitched shoes are what you want because you don't have to worry about the adhesive coming out of the shoe. Industrial grade adhesive, not on dress shoes, man. It's cheap. People can see that stuff a mile away and they know you didn't spend a lot of money on your dress shoes. And then they start formulating conclusions about your shoe. It's nothing worse than an ugly pair of shoes messing up a good outfit, man. Stay away from cheap shoes. I don't care. And if you got to wear them in the interim, fine. Save your money. Go out and buy you a good pair of quality dress shoes. And I can show you where to get them for even a fraction of the price. $200, I can show you where to get some almost like this. And I have a couple like that. They'll last you for years. Now, let me give you a secret. The reason why shoes like this are so expensive, number one, is because it's leather. You know what? This shoe will never wear out. Ever. I can have this shoe for 150 years. It'll never wear out. You know why? Because this is premium calfskin leather. This is premium cow. This will never get old. It will never get worn. It will never give out. This shoe will last me a lifetime. For the rest of my life. The thing about it is, in these shoes, if the shoe wears out, it's going to happen on the bottom. You see, this is nothing. This is designed to create some kind of traction. Because the shoe looks like this when you first buy it. The whole shoe at the bottom looks like that. All of this. But what happens is, as you wear it, you start to create a traction barrier at the bottom. And this is where you get grip. You do not want to walk on carpet on this because you will slide like you're doing an electric slide. Boy, you look like Gumby. Sliding with this. So, excuse me. So you want this to look like this after you've worn it a few times. And this will be, now after you wear this out, you can take this to a cobbler. A cobbler is a shoe man who specializes in taking the shoe apart. And they'll replace all of this leather and put a new sole on there for you by welting it. But it'll take you, if this shoe is in good rotation, if you got this one and about 4 or 5 other pair, take you 10 years to wear the sole out of this shoe. That's with constant use. And nobody wears dress shoes all day, every day. Well, some people do, but not average people. They don't. In your shoes, you want to have what is called a shoe tree. The reason this is a thing is because this shoe tree is made of cedar. See, your shoe tree has a flexible little thing, has a spring on it. It's made of cedar wood. The reason why is because this whole little apparatus, this entire apparatus, keeps your shoe straight. See how straight that is? If I didn't use this shoe tree and I just take the shoes off, the shoe would have a bend in it like this. That's what your shoe would look like. But shoe trees keep them straight. That's the first function of it. It keeps your shoe straight like that. See how smooth and straight that is? That's because of this. And it also is meant to deodorize the shoe because this absorbs all the odor and moisture in your shoe. So if you've worn all day and your feet are kind of sweaty and all that little funky stuff going on with your toes, take these shoes off and you slap this in there, and all of the odor and all of the wetness is absorbed in here. This shoe tree absorbs all of the wetness. That's why I love shoe trees. It keeps your shoes straight, so you don't look like you wearing hospital shoes and you've bent them all up. And this absorbs all of the odor and the moisture. That's what cedar shoe trees are for. So if you see these in the store, make sure you get a pair that fits your shoes. These Allen Edmonds have under here, I'm not going to take this out, but there's a cork bed under there. Another reason why these are expensive is because they form fit to your foot. So nobody can wear your shoes because it wouldn't feel right on their toes. So basically your entire footbed is imprinted into this shoe. All right. That's one thing about it. Your shoe is imprinted in footbed. All right? Let's get on with the shining process, shall we? All right, so we're going to start off with the brush. Let me create a little bit of room here for you. Okay, so you hit it here. See what I'm doing? So all I'm really doing right now is I'm knocking off all of the excess matter and whatever. And what will happen is your shoe will get a sheen back to it. See that? Look at that sheen that comes on there. See that? That's what happens when you use this horsehair brush. All right, see? So what I'm doing, let me turn this way so y'all can get a good look at this. So I'm feeding the vamp with the brush like this. See that? Let me hit the back. Hold on a second, y'all. One quick second. All right. Bear with me. Okay. All right. Just letting some of my guys know I'm doing a show so they can come on and check it out. Want some of my guys to see this because, you know, if I know you want to watch it and you're not available, I'm going to try to get you on the show at least so you can see. All right. So I'm hitting the brush. I'm hitting the vamp of the shoe with the brush. Boom. That's one. I'm going to go ahead and knock this one out while I'm at it. This one's a little bit rougher, but yeah, I haven't shined this one in quite a while. All right, so y'all see what's going on here, right? So I'm making sure these fibers, that's why this brush is so important, because you hit all of the fibers of the shoe and all the grain of the leather. This is a very, very, very intensive grade leather shoe. Look how shiny that is. That's just by hitting it with the brush a few times. I don't really have to apply anything to it, to be honest. I'm gonna put a thin layer of polish and stuff on it because I haven't polished these shoes, and wow, it's probably been, look at the toe cap on that. And you can see I scuffed it a couple times walking around and kicking stuff. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get it right, my good people. All right. Okay, that's good enough for that. Okay. One thing I forgot to show you guys, I keep a little basin of water like this because you have to use water to activate some of the elements of this polish and some of the elevation of bringing it to the surface of the shoe. To activate this and to activate the mirror gloss, you're going to need a little basin of water because you got to. Now, I learned how to do most of this stuff when I was in the military, okay? Long time ago. But I carried those principles into adulthood years and years later. So that's where all this stems from. So let's get started. So I'm going to first, let me open up my Beauty Cure. This is the color of this shoe, as you can see. This is a coffee color. You barely can see it, but it's the same color, y'all. Trust me when I tell you that. Color of a Snickers bar. But See that? Now you can pretty much see it. See? It's a good combination, good color. Y'all see that? There you go. It says coffee. It's more like a rich brown. See what I mean? But it is the same. All right. So we're going to start with the Beauty Cure. And I can easily go over here to where I have some brown of the Beauty Cure in the shoe. Boom. That way I don't have a whole bunch of excess brown spots everywhere. I got the ones that I use. Now see, I just take my finger like this. That's all I do. Again, I have a very, very shiny hole cut shoe. See that? So I take this. First, I don't use the water yet. The water is not to be applied just right now, okay? Take the finger and I gloss over the polish like this. Very lightly. You see this? See that thin coat of wax? I barely touch that. And this lets you know how good it is. You can see here the ridges. See the ridges in that I just applied? See that? There we go. See the shine on that? Okay, so you see my finger just touched that and I barely hit it. I just went like this. Barely. You don't want to dig into your polish. That's what I said. That's why you run out of this stuff or you can't afford it because you go crazy with it. You don't need a lot of this stuff. Just a little bit. All right? Now, I can get the whole shoe with what I just put there. Now watch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in circles around the shoe in the areas that I think need to get this. So I put a little here. Now look what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going just like this. Small circles. See this? See that? I dulled that shoe pretty quick. You see how that dulls? You see how shiny that is? Look at the contrast. In the shiny part and the part where I apply the Beauty Cure. See that? All right. So basically, so all I did was hit the areas just like this. Boom. I want the entire shoe to be coated in this. I might have to use a little bit more for the rest of the shoe, but I got most of it. See that? I dulled most of the shoe with that little bit. All I use is a little bit. Right? Again, all I'm doing is barely. My finger is doing the work. I'm not putting any pressure on this polish at all. I'm just barely glossing my finger over it, just like this. For the rest of the shoe. At the buzzer for the win. All right. See, all I'm doing here is going around the areas of the shoe where I want the polish to be pronounced. See that? That's all I'm doing. All right. Now that I've coated the shoe with a nice layer of this stuff, I only need to do it once. Make sure I get it on the toe cap because I want that to shine like silk. Put this down. Remember what I said. Now see how dull this got? You can still see a sheen under there. It's under there. Oh, Mark Tillman, what's up, my brother? Hey. Omar, that ain't right, man. Omar, Man, why you had to do that, man? I was on a roll, Omar. You came up and just do that. Hey, I deserve it, Omar. I deserve it, man. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I can say I was wrong. Hey, I wanted Bryce. Okay, I wanted Bryce. He ain't the guy. Okay, I was wrong. Now, that's funny, Omar. Oh, you will hear that from me on the lives too. I'm bringing that up again. That's funny. Oh, that's funny, Omar. Hey, but if you join in, Omar, man, this is my little thing. I'm showing everybody how to get these shoes nice and shiny, man. These are my whole cuts. I don't know how long you've been looking at it. Oh, thank you, Omar. Appreciate you, my G. So we going, hey, Omar, crazy boy. He got me with that one. Woo! Didn't see that coming, Omar. You know I'm in here with a sweater on, man. You gonna hit me with that, make me laugh, get all hot. Oh, man. I did not see that one coming. That was funny. All right, so I'm going to take the horsehair brush. And you saw me put a layer of the Beauty Cure. Now watch me bring this thing back to where it was with that nice shine. So I'm going to hit this. Ooh. So you hit that right there. Oh, man. You know, if you ain't got nothing better to do on a day you just bored, I'm telling you guys, whip out your polish, get out all your shoes, and go to town, man. It's nothing passes the time but a better feeling in the world when you're shining up a nice pair of kicks, man. When you shining up your shoes, them things look nice. Boy, them things start gleaming. I'll show y'all what it looked like in a minute. I'll give y'all the finished product in 1 second. And y'all saw what it looked like before I hit this polish. Before I hit the horsehair brush on it. I ain't even used the Madame Dior yet either. I ain't even used that. It's coming. All right, let's take a look at what we did here. Let's see what we got. Look at that. What's up, PPP? That's my dear brother from another mother right there in the building. PPP, what's good? Hey, PPP. You see what Omar said, don't you? Omar always starting something. I gotta highlight that comment, man. It's freaking Omar, man. Now, let me just take that down. Freaking Omar gonna come in and disrupt the show with that crazy stuff. Yeah, it do funny, man. But see that? Now I got that thing shining like a, look at that sheen. See that right there? Y'all see that? I know, PPP, it is funny, man. God dang, Omar, boy. Omar crazy. He got me good with that one. Hey, I didn't see it coming. Woo! That was good, Omar. Omar blindsided me. All right, so you see that sheen? That's what it looks like when you hit it with this horsehair brush, right? After you bust that up, bam, you got your whole cuts. You're not gonna have like different parts of the shoe with crevices with your Beauty Cure inside of it, because this is a whole cut shoe. There are no stitchings on it or whatever. This is a shoe that you gotta special order these, or you gotta get them form fitted. Okay, that's where you get these from. Now let's go to stage 2. All right. Second shoe, shoe 2. I'm gonna try to stay consistent with this stuff, y'all. I don't want to bore y'all to death up in here. I know this is boring. It can be boring. I'm sorry if I'm boring y'all. I really am. This stuff, it can be boring for a person that really is not into shoes. If you're not into shoes, if you're not into style and stuff like that, it's not going to work for you. You're going to be mad all the time. I'm sorry. But if you like the finer things in life, this is going to be for you. All right. So apply a nice little gloss that on there real nice. BPP, I already know you got a pair of these under your bed, brother. Go ahead and break them out. Go ahead and get them out, BPP. I know you got some. Yeah. So you hit those key areas. Boom. Get all under there, man. All under the underbody. It's always an underbody to everything. All right. Always an underbody. Now I'm not going to need the Beauty Cure anymore after this. Not this one anyway, because I got another pair of shoes. I'm just going to show you guys. I might not shine them on here, but I'll at least show them to you. And if you guys want me to shine them, I will. They're another they beast. Trust me, you guys will like those. Trust me. All right, so there. That's a layer of the Beauty Cure. See, I dulled it up, real nice, right? What's that brush? Going to town like you're supposed to. Freaking Omar, man. That was funny, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. See, y'all hang out with Quantum every now and then. I know I can get a little rowdy every now and then. I know the dark version of me comes out sometimes, but you know, it's for the people, Because I love y'all. It's for the people. Yeah. So we want to hit these spots where your shoes are gonna gleam. So you walk up in the bank with a pair of these on, man, they'll hand you a loan. They'll give you the money. I say, just take the money, man. Well, you ain't even got to apply. Just don't even fill out the application. Just take the money. Here, man. Just take the money. You get a whole lot of things happening on a good pair of shoes, believe it or not. You got a decent pair of shoes on, you get a whole lot of attention. I'm telling you. Especially at your meetings and stuff like that, man. People be like, woo, dope shoes, man. Because they ain't never seen them before. Like most people ain't never seen a pair of these. A pair of hole cuts. You ain't gonna find these at the mall. Never. Never, ever, ever in a million years. All right. Real deal Holyfield speaks. All right, there we go. That's good enough. Okay. Look at that. That's why the certain polishes will give you a sheen that looks like that. See that sheen? Boom. See that right there? See, that's what you want in your shoe. You want it to look like a mirror. You want a gloss on that bad boy. Now, I ain't even put the toe cap. See, this ain't even, I'm gonna go on to the other part right now. See, now it's about to get, okay? So I had to get the whole base of the shoe activated first, right? Now, I can go with a layer of the Renovateur, which is the cream, right? I can hit a layer of the Renovateur, the Saphir Renovateur, like the French would say it. And now, the thing about the Renovateur, you don't want to use a rag to apply that. You want to dip your finger in it and just smear it in with your finger. I'll show you. Okay. I hold it just like this, and I just dip my finger in just like that. Bink, bink. And you just basically, now since I have a medallion on the toe, I don't want to put this in there because it's a nightmare getting that out of there, trust me. So I wait until I get it nice and smooth like this. And this brings out the richness of that shoe. See this right here? Now I can go over the medallion with my finger because I don't have the big white clumps in there. I can just hit it just like this. And it's like a light shine cream. See that? That's the Renovateur. That brings the leather to life. Okay, polish just shines it, but it doesn't bring the leather to life. The Renovateur does that. See that right there? See, that's the renovateur. That's like putting oil, that's like cocoa butter on your skin in the summertime. That's what that's designed to do. That renovateur is, yeah, it's the real deal, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Boom. Again, my finger. I'm gonna dab it. I'm gonna dab like Cam. Y'all like that, right? I'm gonna dab like Cam. Check out my dab. Check out my dab. Check out my dab. Look at my dab. And I'm gonna dab it on the side. Boom, boom. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I'm gonna do. Look at my dab. Look at my dab. Y'all remember that? Look at my dab. Look at my dab. Y'all know. Come on, y'all Panthers fans know what that's all about. Anyway, we're gonna hit that renovateur. Look at that renovateur. Look at that shine. Like hot water on that bad boy. Look at that. Boy. Ooh. Ain't nothing like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The feeling that you get when you shining up these shoes and you applying a layer of the renovateur, and it's amazing. Okay, so I got a layer of the renovateur on with my finger, and it rubs in clean. It doesn't leave a crazy residue. It's just real thin. It's like leather lotion, but it's like very, 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 very deep. That's why you got to be very careful with this. You got to look at the dab. Look at the dab. Boom. You dab your finger in there. Go to work. That's it. All right. I come back to this momentarily. Now, back to my brush. You got to buff this in with your brush now. So you hold that shoe up, get that renovateur all in there. You don't want to use a whole lot of renovateur. It can be a job to get it off if you put too much. Trust me, I've done that too. It took me all day one time to get all that stuff off because I didn't know how much to use. Now I do. You don't want to use a lot of the renovateur. And then the smell of your leather, man. People can smell that stuff a mile away. It smells amazing. Woo! I love the smell of renovateur. It's awesome, y'all. Wait till y'all get some of this stuff. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Don't get the renovateur. It's going to speak to you. Yeah. Yeah. What you think? Get a sheen. See what I mean? Y'all feeling that? That's like a woman's leg that just got a leg shave and she put a layer of that baby oil on there. Or that liquid cocoa butter. Check that out. See how shiny that is? All right. What I do for one, I gotta do for some. I gotta apply the same thing to the other shoe. I gotta equal opportunity employer type of thing. Let me do that. Now this has a decent sheen to it, but it gets better when you add the renovateur. Remember? Dab it up. Dab. Just a little bit. Yeah. That's what I'm doing, y'all. Just giving it a little bit of an identity. That's all I'm doing. Now I'm gonna hit that right there. Hit that renovateur. Boom, like that right there. Whack. Yeah. So tell me something, y'all, in the chat. What up, chat? Chat, tell me how many times have you shined your shoes in the last year? Don't lie. I don't know if I see you. I can look at your shoes and tell if you shined them before. Don't lie to me. Be honest. The last time you shined your shoes. Chat. BBB. Omar. Well, last time you guys hit that shoe with a good shoe brush. Put some of that Renovateur on your shoe. Look at that. Well, last time you guys did that? Be honest. I'll find out if you're telling me a lie. So, let me know, y'all. Well, last time you guys got crazy with this stuff and really tried to make your shoes look like they're worth something. And, you know, like I said, you don't have to have a very expensive pair of shoes and all of that. It's not about the price you pay for them. You just pay for quality. That's really all it is. I mean, whether they're inexpensive or not, you just pay for quality. Now, I'll give you a tip. Don't think you're too big for this because I've done this before. You can go to your thrift stores. Tell y'all a quick story. I might have told the story before on another show or another live that I did. Went to a thrift store one time, couldn't find nothing. True, couldn't find a dang on thing. I was like, God. I got very discouraged. And because people were telling me, go to the thrift store, go to the thrift store. I couldn't find anything. It just wasn't in the carts for Old Quantum. Find anything at the thrift store. So I went. Where's our brush? So a friend of mine went. And he was like, yo, I got discouraged. I was like, man, I ain't gonna find it in no thrift store, man. He was like, yeah, you will. And I was like, all right, man, if you say so. Well, he went to the thrift store, found a pair of Florsheim Imperials. All right, Florsheim Imperials. And I'm gonna tell you something. Florsheim Imperials are some of the best old school shoes you can find because, again, you buy them, all you got to do is change the sole and then condition the top like I'm doing. A cobbler will do the same thing for this shoe on the top that I'm doing for it right now. A cobbler will do all of that. A good cobbler will take care of your shoe. So he went in there and got a pair of Florsheims off the rack. I think he paid like $19 or something. And these are like $700 shoes. But he got them for like $19. I was blown away. He's like, yo, you like these? I was like, yo, where'd you get those Florsheims at? Imperials? He was like, yeah, I got these from, I can't remember the name of that Salvation store, thrift store. He's like, yeah, I got these from the thrift store, man. I'm telling you now, you got to go to the thrift store. I'm like, I've been in there like 20 times and never seen nothing like that. And he walks in one day and boom, he gets them. And they're my size. I'm like, bruh. Been looking for a pair of Florsheim Imperials for 25 years. Still haven't found any. They don't make them anymore. They stopped making the Florsheim Imperials. So if you are fortunate enough to find a pair, you're doing wonderfully. Florsheim Imperials are not easy to find. I'm telling y'all, if you find them, but I wanted a pair. He got them. I was like, I was happy for him, but I was hating them. I was like, God damn. He was like, yeah, man, he's nice, ain't they? I'm like, yeah, man, they nice, man. I'm like, they're nice, man. God damn. I said, boy, how did he get them, man? And I've been at that same store like 25 times. I've been going there for months, man. And I kept going. Like every week I go there 3 times for like 6 months. Never found them. He found them. I was like, man, this is crazy stuff. And he went like at an off time of the day, like 9 o'clock, right before they close. I'm like, who goes to the store right before they close in the middle of the night? Like, who drives all the way somewhere? Anyway, he got them. So he took them to a cobbler, a very well-known cobbler in the city. And the cobbler, man, made them things look like money. He restored them things, man, to their original glory. I was like, wow. Yo, he showed them to me after he got them done. I was like, see, man, that's why I wanted a pair of those. Florsheim Imperials are hard to find, yo. And he paid like, I think for the new sole and the conditioning, I think he paid like $80. So in and out, he paid less than $190 or something, $98 or something like that for a $700 pair of shoes. Paid like $90 to clean them, get a new sole, everything. And they look like he bought them at the store. And I'm like, yo, how? And they look brand new. Not one imperfection, not one hole, not one scratch. And I'm talking about on the upper. I'm talking about on this part of the shoe. It looked just like this. And that's why I'm telling you, premium leather shoes, they don't break. They don't break down. They last, as long as you do this to them, they never break down. They'll be around forever. And Chad, he had them shoes. I ain't seen that dude in a long time. And last time I saw him, he had them. I was like, yeah, you gonna sell them Floor? Nah. I said, 7 of Floor Shines. Nah, man. He never will sell them to me. You could pass, when you get a good pair of shoes, good quality leather, with an upper like this one, you can pass these down to family members. So I'm gonna leave these in one of my trust structures. I got trusts. I'm gonna leave these in a trust for any of my children's children after me that fit the size. And I keep my stuff in immaculate condition. So they're gonna be getting basically a new pair of shoes that can be custom fit, custom made for years. These shoes will be, you can keep these for the next 150 years. You just have to keep changing the sole, but the upper, as long as you just take care of them, they'll look like this for forever because the leather will not wear out. It's designed, I mean, the cow skin will be around. It ain't going nowhere. It's very pliable, very thick. It's not like human skin, you know. Cows have real thick hide. It's a hide. Everybody know what leather is. It's thick. It stands the test of time. So if you can get yourself a pair of Florsheim Imperials or Allen Edmonds, any of the Allen Edmonds cuts, you're gonna be good to go. And there's some more out there. Like down here, I'm gonna show you guys my Antonio Moritzis. You got your Mercasantis. You got your, it's a whole, I can get on. There's so many shoes, but they custom makers though. They're not the ones you're gonna find in the store. You don't want that. You get you a pair of these right here with the closed vamp system. It's called an Oxford cut. Well, it's an Oxford vamp, but it's a hole cut. See, there are no stitching. The only stitching's in the back that brings the shoe together. All right. Now we're gonna do the toe cap. All right. Now this is where the magic comes in. This is where you got to be very, very skilled. All right. Oh, wait a minute. So this is going to require the use of the Saphir Medal Dior. The Mirror Gloss. Okay. This is going to bring that mirror shine to the toe. You only use it, you don't use this on the whole shoe. Okay. Don't even do it. This can should last you for as long as you're alive because you're only going to use it on the toe. You don't need a mirror shine on the entire shoe. It doesn't look right. It looks goofy, it looks crazy. Do not shine the entire shoe with your Saphir Medal Dior. You're going to waste this can. You only want to hit the toe cap with the Saphir Medal Dior. Maybe on the Butte de Cure, you can do that. You can hit the whole shoe with the Butte de Cure and the Ritter Couture. You can do that easy, but not with the Medal Dior. Nah, you want that to be all what it's for, and that's just designed for the toe of the shoe. All right. Cans of pain in the butt. Anyhow, there we go. Cool. Make sure my stuff ain't gonna dry out on me. All right, so we're gonna open up the Medal Dior. And I see all these crumbs, these crumbles. I'm gonna start smashing them together. They falling out. I'm gonna start smashing them together, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. See if you can see this. See the crumbs? And let me show you what I do to these. I take this, and I apply a little pressure to this. And I smooth it out. It ain't hard. You just kind of just rub them back into place. And I get all the cracks and crevices out of my Medal Dior so it don't fall everywhere. There we go. Now, see how creamy this is? And I didn't put hardly any pressure on it. I just went like this. Now, this is what you hit the toe cap with. Your Medal Dior, you basically go around like that. And you're only going to apply it on the toe of the shoe. The smell lets you know you're alive and you got some really nice shoes you're about to hit. Now, see, before you could see where it looked like it was cracked on the inside, but I'm hitting this together so that it won't come out on me. See what I did? I just basically rubbed it together, created one big solid out of it so it don't drop all on the table. All right. That is, again, the Saphir Medal Dior Parisian Mirror Gloss. Toe cap only. Only the toe cap. We're going to hit this part of the shoe. Right here. All right. I know it's shiny and all that, but I like it shinier than that. So I hit the toe only with the Medal Dior. Just like that. See what I just did? Now, this is the part where your horsehair brush is going to be ineffective. You're not going to get a mirror shine with your horsehair brush on the toe. It's not going to work there, okay? Not going to work. Kind of buff that in, work that into the leather a little bit. Like this. Work that in to where it's just... Now, here's the magic. Take that same finger and you're going to dab it in your water basin like I showed you I had before. So I'm going to dab it in my water basin. So this is now wet. And then I go to town like this. Now this is going to take you quite a few minutes. It may take you, now I don't know how patient you guys are, but you just go in circles, just like this. On the toe cap. Same thing. Hit it with some water. Boom. Toe cap. This will take a few minutes. And you basically just work that in there, just like that. It's not easy to do. But once you master this, you'll start seeing it come to life. You see this? Now watch. I'm going to keep working this now. Keep working this. Keep working this toe cap. Little circles. And the more you work that water, a little dab of water on the fingertips, on that toe cap, you'll notice that you'll see it starting to do this. But you got to keep working, okay? Don't get discouraged. Takes a few minutes. Hit that toe. Circles. The water in the Saphir Medal Dior is designed to work in tandem. Work it. Work that shoe. Work that toe cap. So I'm just hitting the areas here. Just trying to get the best out of that. I want that Medal Dior to work for me. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Take your time, and you want to use little bit dabs of water. Don't dip your whole finger in there. Just dab it. Look at my dab. Look at my dab. So you just basically hit that toe cap. Along the side, along the toe. Work it. A light layer of that Medal Dior too. I'm telling you. Very light. This can take about 15 minutes. It literally could. But most people don't have the patience. You guys do. You know my guys have patience. I ain't gonna go there. I know what y'all Panthers fans are thinking when I say patience. I ain't gonna start, y'all. I ain't gonna even go there. I'm gonna leave that where it is. And I don't want the shoe to get wet. You see, the leather will soak in. And what'll happen is the wetness will start making it very, very difficult to accomplish your objective. But you are applying a very thin layer of Medal Dior on there because it ain't been on this shoe in a while. It's been a while since I've applied that layer that I had on there. But I'm relentless with mine. I keep going till I get that right there. Is that shine starting to see that shine coming in there? See that? See that mirror? See? And it's all about how much time you put into it. Just got to work it in there. Just work it in there. Work in the circles. Work in the circles. Like this. And I'm going to show y'all a trick. See? See that shine, that sheen? Look at that. Yeah. See? That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for right there. You want that. You want a sheen across the whole toe. You want that mirror shine. I'm gonna keep working. So I'm not done. Now I'm gonna show y'all a trick in a minute. After I get this buff going like I want it. Now that buff started to come out like I like it. Yeah, see? See this right here? Look at that. That's what you want on the toe. Let me show y'all something else. Remember earlier, I showed y'all the buffing cloth. Right? It's made like this, where you can kind of like buff it across the shoe. You won't be able to see me do this, but just take my word for it. So I basically just buff the toe like this. So I'm gonna just buff across the toe box. So I'm going across the shoe like that, okay? I gotta hold it between my legs because I don't have my stand up. This is a buffing cloth. I don't got to do this long, a couple seconds. Yeah. Mirror shine. Mirror finish. Yeah. Look at that. See what I'm talking about, y'all? Now, I can see my face in there. Now I can make this even shinier. I can go crazy with this. I can make this like, you keep adding little small layers and hitting the water, and this is what you're gonna get. But it's gonna be way deeper than this. All right. This just gives you an idea of what that toe box gonna look like when you start hitting it with that deep shine. See that? So you can see my screen right there. You see the screen Look at that. See the screen of the Live? In the box, in the toe box. Right there. You can see the screen. That's a mirror finish right there, y'all. Okay, and I can make it even deeper than that. Trust me, I can go crazy with it. But I'm not going to. Take too long. You gotta have a whole lot of time to get them like, it gets nutty. But that's the whole point in that. I ain't gonna really pick on that shoe much more. I'm gonna hit this one off because look, see, this one's got a little bit of scratches in it. See the buff, see the scuffs in the toe? Got some scuffs on there. There's a scuff right there. See that scuff? That's a scuff right there. That's one right here. That's one right there. There's plenty in here. You can't really see it, but they're there. Trust me. So guess what I'm gonna do? Do a little light buff on that too. Just a little, just light little buff. Just a light little buff. Yeah. Gonna make this painless. Find a nice little clean spot. Light layer of Stephetta Medal Dior. Very light. Good enough. Yeah. Now let's just hit those areas where I see that. See, all I'm doing is getting those areas that I just showed y'all a second ago. See? I didn't go crazy, just the tips. You don't want to mirror shine the entire shoe. You want to give it a nice gloss, but you want to mirror shine the toe. You want to gloss the shoe, but mirror shine the toe. All right? Just one little area. And I just rub it in. And I hit my little water basin, a little bit of water. I'm just covering up what was already there. And then I'm gonna buff it out. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. Boom. Yeah. So I can start seeing, I can see it working before it even starts, because I know what it looks like when it's working. Like it starts like blending together. It has this rosy looking type of texture, like streaks or circles. It's like washing the windows of a glass and you're trying to get the streaks out, but it leaves this little trail where you can see where you wiped it at or you try to scrub it at or squeegee it. That's what this does. It leaves these ridges. I don't know if you can see them, but it does that. So you have to watch the areas. See it coming back? See, my job is to get all of the Medal Dior into the shoe, which is what I'm going to do. Get all the Medal Dior up in there. Boom. See that? I don't want to leave any chance that the shoe isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, because I got some type of interference with the polish, the wax, the Renovateur, the Beau de Cure, or the Medal Dior. I want all of that fitting together, and the water. Simple water. Little small little circles like this. I can see where I'm at. And once I can see where I'm at, then I just gloss over the shoe like this. Now it's starting to become uniform. See that? You see how that? Look at that. That's your mirror. Look, see, now you can see my screen again. And I ain't even finished with this. I haven't buffed it yet. Haven't even buffed it. And I just keep dabbing my finger in the water. Just a dab. See the water on the shoe? And I just keep hitting it. Boom. Almost done. 2 more minutes and this will be finished. We're going to end this live here in a few minutes. I ain't going to keep y'all long. I never kept y'all long enough, but hour of your time is good enough. Got a game in the morning. Yeah. That's right. Booyah. So we're going to get all down in there. We're going to make that thing pop. Wait till I buff it. I ain't even buffed it yet. Go and buff it. So, for all y'all wondering, taking care of shoes is a definite commitment. Some people like pets, like dogs and cats and stuff like that. Me, nah, I like shoes and stuff. I like to take care of my materials. That takes just as long to take care of it. You got to put a lot of time into caring for items like this. It's not easy because after you wear it, you got the maintenance. But it's like if you have a pet, you got maintenance on that too. You got to clean up after your dog and your cat and whatever else you got going on. So you have maintenance. So I get used to the maintenance. This is my maintenance. This is what I like to do. Take a few minutes and do this. When you're about to wear some shoes, you got to do this the night before. Don't try to do this when you're on your way to a meeting unless you just hit it with the horsehair brush. That'll kind of work. And after you get this going and you get a nice sheen on your shoe, you just really don't need to do anything but buff it for a while. This glaring will wear off real easy. It's going to take a while. Depends on how rough you are on your shoes. If you are kicking stuff, then you got to redo this. You're not kicking anything, and you just want to just get crazy with the buff. I mean, just hit the buff rag and take the thing off, and then hit it with the horsehair brush, and you back in business. Yeah, it's all. See, the shine is still in there. I mean, the wax you go through it to put a nice layer of this the wax that you need on the shoe. And then after that, you just kind of go ham with the rest of it. Just, throw in what you want to throw in, knock it out, be done with it. Boom, boom, boom. Easy, easy peasy. Now, I'm gonna go to the buff job. Like that. So all I'm doing is buffing side to side. Shoe's kind of wet a little bit from the water, but you get the point. Yeah, like that. See the mirror finish in the background? You can see my curtains behind me. You can see all that. That's the job you want right there. When it's all said and done. That's what you want, all said and done. So when you have it all together, finished product, right? Not bad, huh? Look at the toe box on them things, gleaming. That's how you want it. All right. So that's pretty much my tutorial for all my good people. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all enjoyed this live. Like, share, subscribe to In Quantum Merritt. Share this live with any and everybody that you guys think can benefit from such a tutorial. If the elements of what I discussed and displayed to you are helpful to you and anyone else you know, please share this video with them, send it to them. Hopefully they'll spread the word. And this just took a couple of minutes out of my time just to show this to you guys. I didn't want to take all day, but we've been going for an hour and 35 minutes, 36 minutes, just changed. And I think I covered all the elements of shoe, type of shoe, design, quality, materials, where to find them. You get all this stuff on Amazon. The Saphir products, just type in Saphir on Amazon. All this stuff pops up. You cannot find these shoes on Amazon. Well, you could. I wouldn't recommend it. Hit me off in the email if you want to know more about the shoes and where to find those for the right prices and all that stuff. I'll walk you through where to find your shoes, how to get the best prices, how to get the discounts, how to get $500 or $600 shoes to $200. Last you for 30 years. Okay? That's a real deal thing. Oh, before we go, I just want to show you guys the other shoes. I'm not going to try to shine those. Take too long. Okay. These are my Antonio Mauricis. See, it comes in a real nice heavy box. This box is heavier than the mother. See, it's got embossed logo. I'm actually a brand model for Antonio Maurici. I got some of their accolades and things like that from some of the heads of this company. So let me crack this box open to show you what those look like. You already saw the a moment ago the Allen Edmonds. That's what you've been looking at this entire time. The brown ones. All right, the Antonio Mauricis look like this. Now, tell me what y'all think. I love these things. Boom. I got to hit these off too on the toes. I haven't done these in a little while because I haven't worn them in a while. But this is what is called the double monk strap. This has no strings on it. It's just this across your toe. This is what tightens the shoe. The double monk strap feature with the buckles here and here. Your double monk strap buckle system. Right? This is called a cap toe because it has a stitching along the toe that brings that shoe to the rest of the shoe. Again, this is premium leather calfskin. It is a welted shoe, Goodyear welted, stitching on the inside here, stitching along the vamp with the monk with the strap, and then stitching on the bottom. Again, it's a leather shoe, as you can see. There's your Goodyear stitching to welt the shoe to the vamp. Again, there is a shoe tree in there. And you can see I got these shoe trees from Saks, Fifth Avenue, because I like their shoe trees. I think they make amazing shoe trees at Saks. They're really, really good. See that? Very good cedar, absorbs odor and moisture like it's nothing. You see the thickness of this leather too? See how thick that leather is? Look at that thickness. These shoes have an awesome vamp, fully leather inside, just like the Allen Edmonds. The inside of the shoe is completely leather. There's no cotton or what do you call that? Canvas and nothing like that in the shoe. Shoe tree comes out. And then you have the leather lined inside with a footbed. That's all leather in there. So these shoes are extremely comfortable. You can wear these all day. You can wear these shoes all day and your feet will feel amazing. Okay, these full leather inside, full leather outside, double monk strap. And I do have the Saphir Beauty Decor for this color too. I showed it to you earlier. That caramel light brown right over there. But this does the trick. Shoe tree goes back in to preserve the integrity of how straight the shoe is. You see that? The shoe is straight. It doesn't have a bend in it. Doesn't have a bunch of ridges on the toe on the vamp. See, there are no ridges in the vamp like that. This shows why I wore them. But if you can feel this, you'd see how smooth that is. Shoe tree goes back in. Shoe tree goes back in. Yeah. And these right here are the cap toe double monk strap Oxfords. Is what these are called. The cap toe double monk strap Oxford. You got shoes that look like this. It's called a single monk when you got one strap like that. When you got two straps, it's called a double monk strap. No strings or laces in this shoe at all, just the monk strap. These are a go-to, okay? These are one of my favorite pair of double monks. I have a few of these, but this is one of my favorites. And they all welted in Goodyear welted, premium calfskin. You ain't finding these in the mall and none of that stuff. No, you find some knockoffs, but they're not gonna be the actual ones. You gotta order these. These gotta come from Italy. I imported these straight from Italy. Came right over from Italy. Yep. It wasn't even available in America. These, they got American versions of these, but not the same. These came from Italy, straight up. It's an Italian brand. Okay, the Allen Edmonds is an American brand. This brand is American. Okay, great products that they sell. These are Italian. They are the Antonio Mauricis. Okay? That's just two of my favorite pair of shoes. Okay? We can do these tutorials all day and all night. But for what we got right here, I am not going to shine these. It'll take too long. Well, you get the point. I just want to give you guys a tutorial on how to shine your shoes, how to give you the very, very best opportunity to look your best, dress your best, feel your best. We'll do some other lives on colognes and stuff like that. We'll get into belts and hats, all of that. We'll get into all of this stuff, man. Nice sweaters, the stuff that you need to bring your fall in the appropriate way. We'll get into some of that too. But as for the night is concerned, that is pretty much all that I have, you guys. I appreciate all y'all for coming, joining, conversing with me. Omar Tillman, that was messed up. But you guys have reached the inner core of what I like to do. A lot of times I got a few minutes. This is what I like to do. I like to shine shoes and weird stuff like that, okay? But again, in closing, one more time, in Quantum Merriweather, here to help you stay fresh, dressed to impress, never stress, and always blessed. That's what it's all about. Like, share, and subscribe to the content. Get this out to everybody who has decent shoes, who need some or whatever have you. Get this in front of these guys. Share this stuff because these guys need to go out and get this information so they can preserve the integrity of their wardrobe investment. All of your attire, your satire, your sartorial stuff should be above board, guys. No excuses. All right, let's make it happen. All right. With that being said, I appreciate all y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It's your boy in Quantum, and I'm out.